What's going on YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm posting yet another video at 1080p, 60 frames per second. At the moment of recording this, you have to be using Google Chrome or like Safari or something to watch it in 60 frames per second, but support to Firefox, which is actually my preferred browser, is coming very soon. Chrome isn't bad. I've just been using Firefox since 2.0 beta many years ago. So I'm not recording this in 4K, I'm recording it in 1080p. So 60 frames per second. I can't wait till more Android devices and more browsers support 60 frames per second because it just looks so butter smooth. I will do 4K again. My camera does record 4K. All of my videos for almost a year now. Well, for many months have been 4K. So, all right. So I want to give a quick thank you to BESTEK. I think that's how you pronounce it. They got in touch with me and asked me if I'd like to review any products. And I was very interested in this inverter. If you go to Amazon, this has achieved something very great, meaning this is the #1 best-selling inverter on Amazon. You don't get hundreds or thousands of, 4 to 5 star reviews where most people are happy with your product and make a bad product. That is speaking massive volume about something when you have a #1 best-selling inverter on Amazon. So obviously this is a good inverter and people like it. I currently use a little 175 watt Duracell one, and I have not been happy with it. I don't feel like it is very powerful at all, and I bought it a long time ago. So one of these is like a little cable. This is the lighter one, so that's probably what it is. And so you can hook it up to the battery in your car. But first, we're going to take a look at this inverter. This inverter also has 2 USB ports and 2 full outlets, which is amazing because the one I have has 1 little power port and 1 USB port. So this one's better than that. Here's the instruction booklet. It is in English, and then back here it's in other different languages. Now, this is just a cigarette lighter, so depending on the amperage that your cigarette lighter puts out, depends on how many volts you get. In your car, or truck, you should have like a fuse for your cigarette lighter that tells you how many amps it puts out. So this is a little guy. I was expecting it to be bigger than that. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and unravel this. And we're gonna go out to the car and test this and hook this up and check it out. So we're gonna do that. All right. As you can see, we have 2 USB ports. One of those being 2.1 amps. So it'll charge up like a tablet or a Galaxy Note or Nexus 6 or some phone that can take 2 amps. And then you got a little 1 amp for charging up like an older phone, or you can even charge a newer phone on 1 amp, but it's not going to charge that fast. You've got a little light there, so it tells you like, I guess, green for good, red for overload or something. I'll have to read the instructions to figure all that out. And then you have 2 outlets, which is very nice. Very nice. And you have a fan back there. Now, whether this fan is quiet or loud, I don't know yet, but I don't care because most of the time you're driving on the highway and you're going to get road noise in your car. You're going to have music playing. So this fan should not be louder than that. And you have a little switch to flip it on and off. Now, if you're wanting to get more than what your car can give you, because you're not going to get the full 300 watts out of your cigarette lighter, more than likely you're not. This is why we also have this little guy right here. Let's go ahead and open this thing up right here. And we have this. This is going to allow you to tap into all of the power that this thing is going to be able to give you right here. So you just unravel this, and then you take this and you put it on the terminals on your battery. And what I like is these clips feel good. They feel super tough. Like you have to give it some force to open that sucker open and closed. And it also has protection. So if the two touch, you shouldn't have to worry about it. Those little, teeth aren't going to touch on purpose. So you just attach them to your battery, and then you take this and you plug this into it. And then you're going to get all 300 watts, the peak 300 watts this thing can provide. So if you have an older vehicle where you don't mind punching through your firewall to route this thing from your battery inside your vehicle, that's awesome. I'm not going to do that because I have a new car and I don't want to punch holes in a car. Now on a Ranger, you know, I had a Ranger for many years. That thing was like a 95. I wouldn't have had a problem, you know, tapping a little hole in there to put this through it. You know, that would have been an issue at all because it's an older vehicle and I just don't care. It's but let's go hook this up and play with it outside. It's cold, and you hear the audio from the camera, so that's to give you a good idea. But so first of all, you gotta turn your car on to you know, use your cigarette lighter. Well, at least in my car you do. And if you don't have to, you still want to, so you don't kill your battery in your car. Alright, so we're in my car here, and I'm using my little Zoom microphone so you're not hearing the camera audio. We're going to take our little inverter here, and we took this and we put it on there, so let's go ahead and separate that for now. Alright, here, take that out, and we'll take this, and here's the inverter I was using before. It's just a little Duracell 175 watt pocket inverter. Nothing spectacular. It was okay, it wasn't too bad, but I wasn't happy with it because I tried to power one of those things that could charge, like a family desktop charger, and it wouldn't work. It wasn't strong enough. So there we go. Let's plug it in. Let's turn it on. A little bit of audio. Let me point this right here towards the microphone right here. There you go. Now you can see that better. There's this, and here's my microphone. Let me go ahead and let you listen to how loud this is. It's not too loud. I really, you know, if you have the music on, you'd have to have your music pretty low to hear this instead of your music. So let's go ahead and plug in our ASUS charger. And the little light right here is green, letting you know that everything is working fine internally. And now we're going to go ahead and take this, plug it in here. All right. And I like that it's a little wide because as you can see from the charger there, it actually it's kind of flush with the charger. It's not like a little bitty thin one like this where it's bigger than the freaking inverter. Like, I like that. All right, so we'll plug this in once again, and we'll take our little ASUS laptop here. It's the X202E. This is the i3 version. You know, whatever, it is what it is. It gets the job done. So I plugged it in, and there is a little light right here letting us know that it's charging. So I don't know how well you're gonna be able to pick that up in the camera, but I'm zoomed in pretty close on it. The little light right there is green. So let's go ahead and press the power button. So it is currently plugged in. While that's plugged in, let's go ahead and hook up our little 15-minute charger we have here. We'll load the AA's in it, and we'll take this and we'll plug it into the inverter here. Now this might be too big. Okay, so I am gonna have to go ahead and unplug the laptop because the plugs are so close together. All right, now we're gonna plug this in. All right, the little red lights on here, I don't know if it probably just means the batteries are bad, so, but the fan is on and it would be charging these batteries if the cells were, these are really old batteries, so the light's flashing letting me know that it can't charge them. All right, so I have some better, hopefully better batteries here. I'll go ahead and plug this in, and the little light should stay red and not flash. And the fan just kicked up, so it is charging this battery at the moment. All right, so in 15 minutes, this should be done. Now let's go ahead and attach this thing to the battery and see what happens then. All right, so I had to use the camera audio again because I'm walking around. I don't have a mic that plugs in. I do need a car wash. Got the world's smallest engine in our car here. If you know anything about 3-cylinder engines, they're unbalanced by nature. So that's why it shakes. This is a 2014 and we just hit 10,000 miles because we've taken it to Tennessee a few times. All right, so we're gonna take this right here and we're gonna hook the red on the red and the black on the black. And then we're gonna take this and plug it in here. And the little green light is on. Yeah, there you go, you can see it in the video. And since this little power thing here is so fat, we're gonna just have to take this, we're gonna have to just take this and plug it in by itself. All right. And on here, the little light turned red, And that little fan, it's just spinning like crazy. This sucker's loud, way loud. The fan in here is way louder than the inverter fan is. And I can't hear the inverter fan over the engine right now. All right, so we'll do one last thing before we end this video. While that's on, I am gonna have to go ahead and move this over to the other one. And those plugs are super tight. It does not let that thing go, which is good. I like that. Okay, so we'll put it in the 2 amp one here. And then we'll take our 1+1 and we'll plug it into the bottom of our phone here. And boom, shakalaka. It says it's charging. We have a charge at the moment through the inverter while we're also charging up this battery in 15 minutes. Very nice. I can definitely recommend this thing, and this car gets about 51, 52 miles per gallon. When the air's on, it gets about 44 to 46. So we drive this car a lot, and when we go on trips, we will be bringing this little inverter with us and using it to power up my laptop, her laptop, a couple phones, maybe plugging in, if you watch my Bullseye, Anchor, or any of my family desktop chargers, I have some that charge 7 USB things at one time, and that's what I'm interested in. Now please keep in mind, when you hook it up directly to the battery, you're gonna get all 300 watts to yourself. When you plug it into your cigarette lighter, you're not gonna get as much. This car probably only has like a 10 amp fuse for the cigarette lighter, possibly even a little bit lower because it's so small. So just keep that in mind. Don't expect, you know, to get all 300 watts out of your cigarette lighter. If you want all 300 watts, hook up to your battery and find some way to get this thing right here inside your vehicle. Whether it be adding an extension, another one of those things like that looks like this, that has this end on it, and you like tuck it around the side into your door of your car or something. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I'm freaking freezing out here, so I'm gonna get back inside. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're new here. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out. I love how easy it is to turn my car off.